Well, it's interesting as you're doing that, for me,
Ah, shit. That really happened.
you burp started. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Whiskey Happens. I'm Travis Martin.
I'm
That is
Gary Johnson.
Boom. And kind of excited about what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Garrett?
It's been a year almost since we ventured back town. Well, for me, down, you over to Tennessee. Although we did acquire these bottles well before now, it
Yes.
seems almost ceremonious that we wait till the fall to talk about Chattanooga's Bottle and Bond Vintage Series 2018, although Vintage 2018 released in 2022. Could I have said that more confusing? The 2022 release of their Bottled and Bond Vintage Series.
Spring. Just like
Yes.
Garrett said, spring. And, before we dive into this and talk really a whole lot about it, if you haven't in a while, go check out our website. We got a lot of cool new merch over there, a lot of other things that you can interact with us on a more regular basis. And, like I said, it's we'd love to see you guys over there. Join the Bourbon Club. We're going to do a pick here soon. I promise. I promise.
All right. With the housekeeping out of the way, Travis, what I was thinking about this is that it's almost been a year since I've been into the spring from 2017 vintage. Again, it's the high malt, multiple blended. I did notice on this one, it is the SB91, which was in the fall blend or prominent in the fall blend, and also in the founders that we got this year.
Correct.
Which I love the founders, but then I didn't like the fall compared to the spring. Not that it was bad. So it really, really makes me wonder how this is going to pair.
I know. I'm really excited about it, actually, because I was looking at the exact same thing a little while ago. It's like I hadn't even really pulled out because I think we both just fresh cracked the one from this year. And so I hadn't really taken the time to really look at it. And if you look through the mash bill, they do have similar, they don't have even, it's interesting because last year's mash bill was 17, 17, 33, and 33. This year's mash bill is 36, 36 and a half, 36 and a half, 18, and 9. So, and then are some comparisons, like you were saying, with the SB 91. Last year for spring, they did have the B005, and they have it again this year. This year's much less. And then they have the SB 55 in both batches, and they're very similar. So I found that kind of interesting too. So I'd love to go there and like deep dive with them on their thought process behind it. Like, and how they're, talk with their master blender about it. I think that's one of our next road trips. So
yeah, I believe the SB is Signature Blend 91 is what it stands for. Again, like you said, that's the 36%. I don't have a bottle in front of me; it's behind me.
Yep.
But so they raised the count from the fall vintage of 2017 in this one. So again, curious how it's going to fare. We have the original, or I'm going to call it the original 2017 vintage. So we'll get into that first, just as a refresher, and then we'll try the 2018.
Yeah, and just to be honest, we're not going to go through a whole lot of the tasting notes. We're really just trying to see if they're similar, what the massive difference is, and really which one we prefer more.
Yeah, on this one, yeah. Now, in all fairness, I have not watched our previous video, but I'm getting a light brown sugar note that's prominent.
Yeah.
Like that. But go ahead.
I was just gonna say I agree. The you get a lot of that, but you also, it's so subdued, unlike the fall of last year. The fall of last year to me was more of that Tennessee whiskey. And it's interesting that people, even though Chattanooga's been out for a while, people really don't talk a lot about Chattanooga. There's still, if you think about Tennessee whiskey, I mean, of course, you only think of Jack Daniels, but I mean, they've been putting out some really good stuff recently. Like you said earlier, the Founders Edition, which I think is amazing. But what else are you getting on this one? I mean, it to me, it's smooth. So
Yeah, a light pepper on the back finish, but sweet overall. I guess if I were gonna marmalade's coming to me.
Okay.
What about you?
So I get, the rustic notes that come through with it, but to me, I got a lot of orange up front. So marmalade, like you said, I'm not getting marmalade sweetness. I'm getting orange, but I get that little bit of bitter at the end. But I like the bitter of that orange because it's almost like a fruit forward, but very very tannin almost. So I kind of went in a little quick and started smelling this one. It's completely different.
I don't doubt it. I imagine it's going to have more of a founder's appeal to it, like I stated before, and possibly not as sweet because the founders, it took a second to grow on me. I do remember that. But by the end of the video, I was like, I get it. I like it. I'm here for it. And I would gladly take another bottle.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into this one then. Yeah. See, I get, like I did with the Founders, I get kind of the cigar type flavor, like smoky. So
yeah, I would say definitely a tobacco note. My bottle hasn't been open as long as yours. We're talking half hour. We're not talking days or anything like that. But I'm going to go in for the taste. Oof.
Yeah. I mean,
now, I'll say this one makes me smile just like the other one did. The first note I got was blackberry, followed by with like blackberry licorice. I know that's not a flavor, but that's what my mind is telling me that I'm tasting.
Yeah.
It's very yes.
I don't know. I can't put my finger on the exact taste. It does remind me of the Founders. It is much more of it's not as light as the first one. Let me put it that way. It's not light. It's more robust. It has more of a deep flavor into it. And if you like bourbons that are more full bodied and more kind of earthy, this is the one for you. Like, this is the one that I would say is less citrusy and florally and more kind of like you said, it's like a dark fruit or like a winter hug almost to me.
Yeah, which is interesting. I was actually listening to the words you were just saying, and I was like, to draw those flavors out and that type of impression on 50% alcohol or bottled and bond 100 proof, meaning, or you guys know the meaning of bottled and bond by now. We'll just skip that for another video some other time. But I like the complication that's going on here. I'm not sure if I prefer it to last year's vintage yet. However, I do want to put some water in it to see if it opens up. But I'm going to taste the other one real quick for comparison again.
Yeah, for me, it's more of like, I don't know if I can compare them in the sense that I like one better than the other. I think I would like one. To me, they're so different that I would just like them at different times, either of the year or what I'm doing. That would be how I'd have to break it down. Like, I don't know if I could choose one or the other because they're both so uniquely different, which surprises me for how I thought they were going to do it. They were going to be very similar, but they're not.
Yeah. I'm just going to add a couple drops and see what happens here. My guess is that I kind of just burped a second ago. So a lot of air in my throat. I'm going to assume this is going to hit more floral and more anise just from the burp I just experienced, but we'll see.
The difference to me is just the fact that they're both 100 proof, but one definitely drinks hotter.
Yeah. But I wonder if the impression I'm getting of hotter It's just that the other one finishes so sweet with
It does.
light heat.
Right. See, and to me, when you add a little bit of water to it, it gets smokier. Like it gets more like a typical Tennessee whiskey to me, and that's what I don't like. And so I probably wouldn't add water or put this on ice because I'm not a huge Tennessee whiskey fan. I don't like that that flavor profile as much. So to me, adding that water just made it like a Tennessee whiskey, 100%. Like I know it is a Tennessee whiskey, but you know,
I'm with you. I'm not going to go neat on this. It did open up in the wrong way for me.
Yeah.
Not to say that it wouldn't be like if now it's more medicinal on the nose as well as
it tastes like Jack Daniels to me now. It smells like Jack Daniels. It tastes like Jack Daniels. Unfortunately,
I don't know about that. I'm not gonna say that. I think this is still better.
I said it. Come for me.
Jack Daniels Old Number 7 compared to this? No, sir. No, sir. That one is, I think it's one of the highest distributed whiskeys around the world. I don't think, nothing against Chattanooga. I don't think this would ever usurp that. Ever.
No, what I'm saying is that it now tastes like Jack Daniels, just the typical Jack Daniels number 7. It tastes like that to me. Like if I was to put that up against Jack Daniels, I guarantee you if you took it and put it with Jack Daniels, added a little bit of water like I just did, and put it with a Jack Daniels, a lot of people wouldn't be able to pick the difference.
Could be wrong. For clarity, are you saying Jack Daniels bonded versus this, or are you saying Jack Daniels Back in Black? I think it's
Back in Black.
That is interesting and a bold statement.
It is.
I believe you have invited the trolls to the chat. So if you agree with Travis, let us know. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you're able to get a bottle of this, I don't think that I've seen it personally. This was a thank you, Travis mail order.
Well, I was going to say, if you've had both, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And because I want to know, Garrett, between the two, which one are you choosing? If you choose one to drink, what would you?
I'll put it to you like this: I would be happy with either. I don't need an occasion. Mm-hmm. However, asterisk, if I was at a bar, I wouldn't buy either. I'd rather just pay secondary for another bottle than to pay $20 upwards, whatever people charge at bars for this. I'd rather just buy a bottle secondary.
You know, I don't ever see that in Texas at the bars.
Yeah, I assume it'd have to be a Tennessee bar. Here, Chattanooga, I see the cask strength fairly often on shelves, the port cask, not cask strength, finished bottle, and then they have 111 proof, 115 proof, whatever that number is. I see that here.
Well, you like a neat on the rocks or in a Coke, whiskey happens.